You know what time it is? It is Sipping with Sue time. I am Szu-Moy, and we are chatting with real people doing real things extraordinarily and getting an early start to the weekend. So, if you're joining us for the first time, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And if you haven't gone over to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell to get all of the latest content as soon as it is uploaded. Cheers to the weekend. OMG. OMG. I'm gonna take a sip. Hold on. Mm. So I added these strawberries in here with this. I still have lemon. I don't have limes yet. It's my little um, gin and soda, but it's yummy because the strawberries are like so fresh right now. But welcome to my lovely, amazing, beautiful, you're looking gorgeous friend, Angela. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, Szu-Moy? I'm so glad to see you and to be able to finally do something like this with you today.
Yay, for sure. And you look gorgeous. I'm loving your hair. You need to
Thank
do
you.
my hair.
It's the
I'm
old
like,
school hot rollers.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So, for the folks that don't know you, because everybody knows Angela, and if you don't, well, hey, that's a little
Hey,
weird, but can you give us a little background on yourself so folks can get acquainted with you?
sure. I am originally from Detroit, Michigan, and I have lived in San Antonio for the last 23 years. I'm an educator, um, certified school counselor, and I love all things food and drink and travel and spending time with friends and family. So
Yes,
some
for
call me a
sure.
foodie for sure.
Yes, yes. And thank you so much for what you do within the school system because being a teacher, especially, it's always been hard, but my goodness, it is so hard now. So thank you. Blessings.
Thank you. Some would say we're not
Blessings.
dealing with COVID hangover.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So you have been cooking and crafting, oh, by the way, not just crafting cocktails, but you've been cooking and crafting amazing, amazing dishes and drinks for a while. So tell us about, I know you've won some awards
Yeah.
within the San Antonio area. You may have won awards in other areas, I don't know, but tell us a little bit about the awards and the dishes that accompanied the awards that you've won.
Well, we learned about the Fideo Loco dish here in San Antonio, and it's a comfort food. It would be the perfect thing to have like right now as well with this cold, rainy weather here.
Mhm.
Um, but Fideo is like a pasta soup for Mexican cuisine, and it's sometimes called sopita, sopa de fideo. And in San Antonio, they also add like frijoles charros and picadillo, which is ground beef with potatoes in it. And so in this little pasta soup, they'll put in the whole beans and they'll put in the picadillo and then eat it. And they had a Fideo Loco cook-off. It's an annual event. In 2019, it was our third time entering, and we won first place. And so it was pretty cool to win in San Antonio, being transplanters, you know. So it was definitely a nice title to hold.
Heck yeah, congratulations. I love fideo. So for the folks that don't know fideo, that is that is comfort food if there was any. Like definitely right now. So in San Antonio right now, it's raining, it's cold, and it's probably like 52 degrees, and everybody that's up north is probably looking and like saying, "Really, 52 degrees?" But for us, it's freezing. I'm like in a turtleneck and frozen, but fideo is so good. So
Mm-hmm.
good for this type of weather.
Yes.
Have you won any other awards or any other, um, uh, you know, competitions that you guys have, uh, placed in?
Um, why my husband does barbecue, and so he joins with his family in LaSalle County. It's called the Wild Hog Cook-Off, and so they've placed and had some placing in ribs and then exotics. He's like done the whole pig. He's done the goat. Some honorable mentions. So definitely food and seasoning and flavor and the slow and low smoke of all of it with regards to barbecue is a thing that he's been recognized for.
Fantastic. And then you cater as well, correct? So tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about your catering business that you
Well,
do
I
also.
grew up in the Mexican restaurant business in Detroit, so it's just kind of in my veins to serve and be around food and prepare it for people. And so we decided, just because we love to cook and serve people food, to do buen provecho catering. And buen provecho just means bon appetit, enjoy your meal, in Spanish. And so the whole thing on our Instagram is buen provecho catering, if you ever wanted to look it up, as well as Facebook. And so
Hmm.
we've done like rehearsal dinners, baby showers, quinceañeras, birthday parties, all sorts of things.
Especially themed birthday parties, which is like what I like to
Your
host, and
tea.
then you like to cook. So we've
Mhm.
had some really fun, interesting themed birthday parties. And I will tell you that Angela's Cuban sandwich or Angela and Edwin's Cuban sandwiches are the best. I don't care, Floridians, what you say. I don't care. I don't care. It's the best Cuban sandwich ever. It's
I
so
know every
good.
time you send us messages from having tried another one, it just warms my heart. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're literally one of our biggest fans.
Big time. Big time. I love food too, and I love good food. So, yes, it's perfect. So you are going to make a crafty cocktail for us. So what is this cocktail that you're making for us?
I am. And so I want to say this one it's got ginger beer in it,
Mhm.
and it has bourbon and ginger beer and then just some raspberries in it. And so I'm going to mix some things up right now. And I'm going to use all of our bourbon. We go through it so much, it's like this. So every Friday it gets replenished with a new bottle. So this is Four Roses, small batch, and it's one of our just everyday go-tos that we like. And so this I will be putting into the shaker, um, with some ice, and it'll just be have ginger beer and ginger bourbon. And this is just to get it frothy and chilled, and then we'll pour it and strain it into a glass. So then it will be this too. It's like 1 3/4, I think, 1 1/2 of the bourbon. And I put that in. And just to add a little bit of the simple syrup, this is homemade, that my husband made. We'll put this in, just a half of that. And then to get that all chilled, it'll be a little loud with the shaking right now. Okay, and then I'm going to put some of this ginger beer into the glass. And then take this off and strain it. And strain it here. Bourbon with the simple syrup. And then you just put in some raspberries. Stir it around. And it's like a ginger raspberry fizz with bourbon. So cheers.
All right. Cheers. I like
Good.
the raspberry gin fizzes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it tastes like.
It's a take on the gin fizz with bourbon instead of gin. Delicious.
Well, that would probably be my husband's thing because he loves bourbon. I think I like bourbon if it's mixed. So yes. So the specific ginger beer, does that make a difference?
I think, in my opinion, because this is a non-alcoholic ginger beer,
Mhm.
and there are some that have alcohol in it, but the one that our friends brought over, this is a really mild one. Some of them have that like tang and bite to it because ginger
Mhm.
can be strong
Spicy.
and
Yeah, yeah.
a bit of spicy, right? And I like fresh ginger. But when it comes to my drinks, I like the more subtle essence of ginger, and this is definitely a subtle essence to have in, especially with a stiff drink with bourbon. So
Mhm.
it's just very light with the ginger.
Nice. So this is like a perfect poolside summer drink.
It is. And when I was looking up ideas, because I thought, oh, do I just go do the old standard or find some ideas maybe for Easter brunchy? You can
Hmm.
actually create a whole picture of this. So you would
Ooh.
use 3 bottles of non-alcoholic ginger beer, 3 12-ounce, with 2 cups of frozen raspberries, and then your 1.5 cups of bourbon. So you could just stir this in a
Ooh.
pitcher and serve it for like an Easter brunch.
Hmm. I wonder if you threw like a splash of lemon in there. I don't know. I just like
I
lemon
no,
in everything.
you could totally add that. You know, that's the cool thing about cocktails is making it your own.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Awesome. So you'll be able to send off or put in the feed afterwards, like what you did, the ingredients, the type
yeah,
of bourbon you used, and the type of
hmm
ginger beer you used. Because I know for like when Juan makes Moscow mules, it has that kick, right? So he's a fever tree. We're like fever tree is the best for Moscow mules. What's your take on that for Moscow mules?
Fever Tree, ginger beer or bourbon? What did you?
Ginger beer.
Ginger beer? I don't think
Hmm.
I tried Fever Tree, but just the name alone makes me think it has a bite.
It does. It has a little bit of a bite, but not like too crazy, like hot
Mm-hmm.
spicy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like one of those things where you'd make those like a pineapple jalapeno something and you'd add a splash of that and it would just
Yes.
make it more spicy. No, it's not super mild. I'll
Okay.
say that. But
Yeah, I don't think I've
it's still
tried that
tasty.
before because
Oh.
I'm not big into Moscow mules, and
Oh.
maybe it's because of the what was I gonna say? The vodka in it. But see, like this with the bourbon, I
Okay.
love.
Mhm.
But I've heard that they have like Kentucky Mule, so they use
Mhm.
the bourbon with the ginger and then the mint, and then like
Yes.
you say, you can add spritzy that and lime this, lemon this. So
Yes, and,
it would be
there's an Irish mule, which is the one that I like because I don't love the vodka mules either, the Moscow mules. I like the Irish mules, which has Jameson in it, which
oh
gives it
okay,
a
that's
completely different taste and one that I
nice.
thoroughly enjoy. Yeah, it's really good. Oh, before I forget, how did you make the
Mhm.
simple syrup, or how does Edwin make his simple syrup?
So with the simple syrup, we
Mhm.
use sugar in the raw, so like the brown sugar cane,
Okay.
and you just reduce it, and you can even put it in the microwave, but you know you can do the saucepan to reduce it as well, and it's equal parts. If you do like 1 cup of sugar, then it's 1 cup of water to make it syrupy, and then this one has lemon juice squeezed into it.
Ah, okay.
Um, and you could do an infusion with dried lavender. That's a whole other like level of thing. When we were in Cabo, we went to Flora Farms and had like a lavender lemon martini.
Mhm.
And they had like lavender in the ice cubes, but then they had lavender infused simple syrup with like a lemonade and vodka.
Ah.
It was delicious.
So I'm thinking that we can infuse the simple syrup with a lot of things. I never even thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, even like this simple syrup here, like if you were going to do some dedicated drinks that are spicy,
Mhm.
then you could muddle these thinly sliced jalapenos in there. And then you would have a spicy simple syrup for the
Gotcha.
heat.
Yeah. Ooh,
Mhm.
I like it. Awesome. Do you have another drink you're making, or is that the one
Yes, I
you
do.
do?
So this is a take on the traditional old fashioned.
Okay.
So I have the big cube here, and just to share, I couldn't believe that our refrigerator makes these cocktail ice cubes, which was something we didn't even know when we bought the refrigerator. So it's so cool. We have the cocktail ones down in the drawer that get created, and the ones at the top are the regular size. So this is a take on a modern old fashioned, which is something that we had at Cheesecake Factory once, and it was where the it had like some lemonade, and I think they threw a little bit of beer, but it just was a different than just the whiskey on a cube with bitters and the orange peel. So I want to share with you that with this one, we do 2 parts. Depending on how boozy you want it, you can do 2 parts and 2 parts. So let me get the ice in here. I'm using our like Yetis to keep the ice cold. So I don't have to go to the ice machine. And then we're going to do the lemonade first. Now this is just already made Simply Lemonade, right? Of course, the fresh is best when you can get your hand on some decent lemons. I don't know if you've noticed at Walmart in their marketplace deli, they have fresh lemonade that they used to make in jugs, and that was the best because it was fresh lemonade. And perfect sweetness for the sweet and sour essence to it. So I'm going to put this in. This time I'm going to do the bullet rye. And I'm just going to do a 2-1 to not make it as boozy since I already have a cocktail to finish off with the raspberry. And here's another thing. This is that Bon Mammon line of marmalades, jellies. And this is called orange marmalade, and inside it has little pieces of orange rind. So to get that orange essence, just like you're gonna get from the bitters and the orange rind, which we will still include, you put some of this into the shaker. Just like a 1/4 teaspoon of it. I'm sharing secrets now. And then Szu-Moy, my dear friend Szu-Moy, introduced us to Luxardo cherries, and once you go Luxardo, you'll never go back. These are amazing. It is of a Genovese family in Italy at the time, and they took their cherries to Italy when it was Genoa way back in the day, and their cherries are just amazing. And a lot of people say that they look like black cherries, but they're heavily syruped and they're delicious, and I can't do a maraschino anymore. So we have that, and let me get the bitters. You might see all of the bitters we have up here. I'm going to do just a little bit dash of the Angostura and the orange. Just 1 dash of each. Okay. All right, we've got that, and we'll get the strainer, and we shake first. So this is definitely not your traditional old-fashioned. We add a little bit of that orange marmalade, some Simply Lemonade for the sweet and sour in it, and then the bourbon. And then we pour this in here with the strainer. And then you gotta add the cherry. And this is really delicious. So it's not a traditional old-fashioned at all. It's an, I'm trying to remember what we've called it before. So this is just the household fashion in the Guajardo Callao household. Also, I have this little thing with regards to getting a curl of the rind. You can see all of that little spritziness of the oils coming from the orange. And then we can cut it off and then twist it all the way and put it in the drink. So there you go. Cheers.
Yay, cheers. So that's like a summery, also a summery old fashioned, huh?
It's a little more refreshing. You know, it's good just to have a traditional old fashioned, right? Just your straight bourbon or whatever liquor you want to use for the whiskey. But this one makes it a little bit more refreshing by adding that lemonade and then the orange essence. And it's super, super subtle, but it does make a difference.
The marmalade. Nice. I'm gonna have, well, We'll see what Juan thinks about that because he's the old-fashioned snob.
Hmm.
But I
I
mean, it
know he's gonna
sounds
be like, "What
good.
the hell are you doing? Why are you mixing lemonade with whiskey? That's gonna just trash the whiskey." But it's also like you say, it's more of a summery thing, like to have
Hmm.
cocktails for lots of people than just the straight neat,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and more refreshing. I like it. Awesome. Well, cheers, and thank you so much for
Cheers.
showing us. You're going to have a whole line of things to do with this recipe in the feed with two different recipes, the raspberry bourbon fizz, and
Yeah.
then the refreshing summery old fashioned. So
Hmm.
awesome. But thank you so much for coming on. It's been a long time coming, yes, but
I
I'm
know.
so happy to see you.
I know. Maybe next time we do a cooking demonstration, or I'll make some fideo loco.
Ooh, yes. And
Yeah,
then I need to be there to taste test just to make sure it's good.
exactly. For sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I think it's because it's an educator in me. I feel like adding a side note, if you know, like, do you know about the family who made this marmalade?
No.
And I saw it on
Mm-mm.
social media. It was shared, but it's one of the most amazing stories about where a woman tells the story. She sees an old lady reaching for this, and she helps her get it off the grocery store
Mhm.
shelf. And come to find out, the lady was a survivor of the Holocaust in the Nazi concentration camps. And this family saved
Wow.
children from the internment camps. And
Oh,
so, all the more
wow.
reason to get this and no other jelly.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Because I
Super
believe
awesome.
it's a
Okay.
French family, because it's France. That's made in France. So
Hmm.
it's a French family
Okay.
that saved the children from. Hmm.
Oh, that's amazing. I love, being able to bridge it with history
Hmm.
and having that good story. It just makes you want to be like, yes, like you said, I'm going to go to the store
Yeah, we have so many of these jars. After
and
using them,
support.
then we use them to save our syrups, our simple syrups, our salsas, and everything.
Hmm.
So they always get repurposed. We have so many.
Well, there you go. It is Earth Month. So
It is.
I'm loving that you're upcycling too.
Yep. The 22nd is Earth Day, and I think it's the 26th. It's Arbor Day.
The 26th is Szu-Moy's Day.
Szu-Moy.
I'm sorry. What'd you say? The 26th is Szu-Moy's Day. I mean, it may be a day for the trees, but it's also Szu-Moy's Day.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Happy birthday
Cheers.
month.
Happy birthday month. Yes, exactly. But thank you again so much. Definitely wanted to kick off the my birthday month with some drinks,
Yes.
and there's no better person to do it than you. So thank you so much. So, like I like to do with all of my guests, before I let them leave, we do a just for fun speed round. So
Okay.
you ready to go?
Okay. Ready? And do you want me to go off of
Ready?
that information? Or you're
I'm gonna
gonna
go
ask?
through it. So
Go ahead.
yeah, I'm gonna ask you. So your favorite thing to cook?
Mexican rice.
Oh yeah, you gave me that's right. Because I kept burning the pan, I kept messing it up. I'm like, everybody tells me it's easy, but I don't see it being easy. And
Easy
yes,
peasy.
Mexican rice. Following her directions, I actually made it perfect every single
Oh my
time. So
gosh,
it's
that's
awesome.
so good to know.
Yes, it was perfect. Favorite thing to eat?
Chile rellenos, which is the stuff.
Ooh, I have not had a good chile relleno here at all.
Really? Are you serious?
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me where is a good place because I'm used to California
Mm-hmm.
Mexican. So I had it over there and it was really good. And then I tried it over here one time and I was like, I'm good. So
It's hit
I
and
don't know.
miss, but yeah, I'll share with you some places.
Okay, very cool. All right, what is one of the best drinks you've had and where was it crafted?
Um, Recently, when we were at Pitaya's restaurant at Hacienda del Mar Retreat in Cabo San Lucas, they
Hmm.
had on the menu a passion fruit margarita. And it's served in a martini glass, but it is amazing. I love passion fruit too, so that nectar
Hmm.
to incorporate into alcoholic drinks as well is amazing. So passion fruit margarita.
And then it was like super fresh too. I'm sure it was fresh passion fruit.
Totally super fresh, yes.
So good, so good. All right, so worst food that you tasted, but you thought that you thought it was going to be good and it was not.
Worst food that I tasted, and then I thought it was going to be good, but it was not.
Mhm.
Gosh, that's a strong word, worst. Mm, so it looks so good because it's a noodle
Mhm.
bowl, but I do not like
Mhm.
pho because of the star anise, the black licorice flavoring. So
Ah.
because I could inhale a bowl of noodles if you gave it to me, but then it's that essence of the star anise.
Okay, star anise is tricky with people. It's a hit or miss with that one too, so.
Like cilantro is for some
Awesome.
people. Like they have that enzyme where cilantro tastes like soap to
Mhm.
them, which I can't even imagine. But yeah,
I love cilantro and
that's good.
parsley, like both of those. So good. So good. Well, thank you, Angela. I appreciate you coming on. It was a good time as always. And of course, again, cheers everybody to
Yeah,
the weekend. I hope that everybody has a happy
a
Easter
happy Easter for
because
sure.
it
Yeah.
is Easter Sunday. Yes, so happy Easter. Have a great weekend, and then we'll see everybody next week.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye.
So take care.